Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming at you live from New Haven, Connecticut for the second episode of FTW Adrenaline. We have a raucous crowd here tonight. They're excited to see some hard-hitting wrestling competition. And we are getting right to the action, kicking things off in style. We have Estrada Dorado making his way to the ring. He debuted here last year to huge expectations. Now granted, he hasn't quite lived up to all the expectations, but he has picked up some impressive upset wins over the likes of E.C. Wadden, among many others. And tonight, he has an opportunity to pick up the biggest upset of his career, because he is going one-on-one with the number one contender for the FTW Championship, the Canadian, the Canuckler, Mr. Grand Slam, Nathan Michaels. Nathan, of course, earning this opportunity. He has been on a winning streak like you would not believe. He has yet to be pinned this year. In fact, some people would say that he is a shoo-in to win the championship at Conquest Boston against Jackson Hart, who currently holds the title. But this is no doubt going to be a tough challenge for Nathan. He has said in private interviews backstage that he is not taking Estrada lightly because of his high-flying ability, his unorthodox style. He is super quick. Nathan, of course, in his 40s now, slowing down a little bit, having to adjust his wrestling style to keep up with today's up-and-coming wrestlers. No doubt this is going to be a magnificent opening bout to kick off episode 2 of the 2021 season. And Nathan looking in great shape. He has been hitting the gym incredibly hard. But we are about to get down to it. There's the bell. And right off the bat, Dorado just charging at Nathan. And look at Nathan just shrugging it off, using his power. Look at him picking up Dorado. Just holding him there. Look at all the blood rushing to Dorado's head. Ah, and brings him down. No doubt trying to put the masked man off his game. And here's where Nate specializes, using his power, throwing around Dorado. And that's what he's got to do. He's got to ground and pound Dorado. He can't let Dorado take to the air and create some separation. But there, that's all it took, was an inch. Quick hurricanrana, and now Dorado on the offense. Irish whip, leapfrog over top. But Nathan, look at Nathan, just chucks him down. Just using that power, and now Nathan, oh, vicious backbreaker right into the pin. But Dorado immediately kicking out before the ref didn't even count to one. And Dorado's got to use that quickness if he hopes to keep Nate off his game. Look at this, just slamming his head into the turnbuckle repeatedly. Nathan a little confused. And now Dorado just stomping on the arm. Smart move by Dorado. Trying to slow down Nate. Trying to sap away some of his power if he targets the arms. But look at Nathan. Oh, another vicious backbreaker. Into a second one. And a third. Just grounding Dorado, but Dorado not going down with a vicious dragon screw. last thing you want to do is try to get into a wrestling match with Nathan Michaels. And a sling blade by Dorado. Now Dorado heading to the top. Dorado, Swanton. Dorado with the Swanton. And now, what's he thinking here? Picks him up. Dorado driver. That could be all. Oh, Nathan kicks out of 2. Dorado driver could have been enough. What a huge upset that would have been. Nathan struggling. Dorado bringing everything he's got, but oh, Nathan just moving out of the way. But now Nathan back to his feet. Oh, and there's those clubbing smashes to the face. And now Nathan just scoops him up, slams him back down into the canvas. And now Nathan, Irish whip off the rope, swinging side slam. Classic Nathan maneuver into the pin. That could be a nut. Oh, but Dorado just kicking out. Nathan hits that with so much force. But now look at Nathan. Oh, just dropping the elbow on Dorado. But Dorado fighting back. Huge uppercut. What is Dorado thinking here? Look at him. Picks him up. Slams him back with a suplex. Dorado showing off some of that power of his own. And now look at Nate. Nate trying to crawl away, create some distance. But drop kick to the back of the head. Dorado firing on cylinders. Nathan doesn't know where he's at. Suplex again. And looks like Nathan's in perfect position. Dorado climbing to the top turnbuckle. Elbow drop to the back, to the lower back of Nathan Michaels. And Dorado back to the top. He goes. What's he thinking here? Crossbody. Oh, but Nathan caught him. Throws him up. Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames by Nathan Michaels. And that is all she wrote. 3, but Dorado gave Nathan everything he could handle. Nearly giving the Canadian a huge loss on his way to the title match at Conquest Boston. You see here, Dorado picked him up. Look at the power of Dorado. Slams him back down for the Dorado driver. And almost picked up the victory right there. But again, the high-risk moves got caught. Nathan with the Calgary Flames picks up the victory, and an incredibly hard-fought victory for Nate. But Dorado's still in the ring. Look at this. Huge respect between Dorado and Nathan Michaels. Nathan just getting the victory by the skin of his teeth. What a victory. But what a performance by Estrada Dorado, showing that he can indeed give the #1 contender everything he can handle. I wouldn't be surprised if Dorado earns himself an FTW title match in the coming weeks and months after a performance like that. But there is the man going on to Conquest Boston to challenge for the FTW Championship against that man right there who's just arrived in the building, Jackson Hart. And it looks like we might be graced by Jackson a little bit later. But ladies and gentlemen, time for some women's division action. And there we see the Southern Belle herself, Tessie Belle, making her way to the ring. She has made it very known backstage that she is not happy with the new FTW Superstar Initiative to bring in fresh and new talent. So she has demanded a match tonight against one of these new signees to show that these new signees don't stand a chance against talent such as herself. A bold claim by Tessie indeed. But she's willing to put her money where her mouth is. And there you can see one of the new signees, Heather Stone. She has made quite the name for herself on the independents, wrestling all across North America and even into South America. She has obviously impressed the boss Chantel Angel quite a bit to have her signed to FTW on a full-time contract. But now she's here in New Haven, getting set to take on Tessie Belle, a former FTW champion. Now last week we seen the debuts of 3 superstars, all of which managed to pick up victories in their debut match. And if that's the case going forward, it doesn't bode well for the current FTW veterans that these new men and women are coming in and picking up victories. Tessie, though, looking to stake her claim. Oh, and just right off the bat, look at that forearm and that punch. Tessie not wasting any time. Picking her up and just slamming her back down, back suplex. And the crowd letting them know what they think of Tessie. Tessie again with those forearms to the face. But Heather with a clothesline. Not taking anything that Tessie has to offer. Oh, but Tessie using those agile legs. But look at Heather go. Snap suplex. Hopefully Tessie hasn't been taking these newcomers for granted. Irish whip into the corner and just drops her down with a drop kick. And look at that huge clothesline. What a blow-up lariat that was. And now, look at her pulling her by the hair. Heather not messing around whatsoever. Looking to show Tessie that the new Superstar Initiative is here to stay and that they have everything and then some to become mainstays. But Tessie with a suplex stopping all the momentum that Heather has been getting. But Heather with a quick counter, just stopping everything that Tessie has. And now look at her knee to the back, pulling on the arms. Just trying to wear Tessie down. But look at Tessie just slamming her down. And the crowd again showing their disdain for Tessie, who just breaks the back of Heather. And again raking the back. Tessie, as I said, a former FTW champion, has made it very clear that she wants another title opportunity. But you got to imagine that a loss here would not do any wonders. But look at Tessie up to the top. Hurricanrana from the top rope. Will that be enough into the pin? 2. Oh, but Heather just getting her shoulder up. Taking all this power to kick out, but Tessie right back on the offense. Is she giving her the kiss goodbye? She drops a knee into her lower back. And look at what a kick by Tessie. Look at her claiming to make short work. Feels like now Tessie is just playing with Heather, trying to make an example out of the newcomer. But Heather fighting back. Strikes of her own. Oh, what a huge elbow into a drop kick. Look at Tessie. Tessie knocks Silly into the corner. And now Heather, look at Heather just putting her boot across the throat as she continues to work over those kicks, those punches. And now back, look at this, back to what she was doing earlier, using the ropes for leverage. Pulling on her arms, trying to dislocate those arms, and now giving Tessie a piece of her own medicine. Slamming her head into the mat. The crowd loving it. And now, just look at her slamming that leg, twisting it, pulling on it, trying to hyperextend the leg. And now, head scissors off, but look at her just raining the elbows down onto the head of Tessie. Tessie not sure where she's at here, as Heather just dropping move after move on Tessie. Tessie slow to her feet. Hurricanrana, what a move! Around she went, into the pin. Heather could get the upset victory, continue the streak, but no. Only 2. Heather wants to keep the momentum of the new Superstar Initiative going. Getting some hard-fought victories, just like Riven and Fly or Die did last week. Again, using the ropes as leverage, pulling on the arms of Tessie. Heather with all the momentum again, slamming her head. Earlier I said it looked like Tessie was playing with her food. Now it's Heather. Heather now sending Tessie off the ropes. Huge crossbody into the pin. Oh, but Tessie quickly kicking out at the count of 1. But look at that snap neck breaker by Heather Stone. Heather pulling her to her feet. Tessie, I don't think, knows where she's at. Again, Irish rip into the sling blade. Tessie is out. She hasn't gotten a single move in quite some time. And now look at Heather dragging her into the middle of the ring, tying up her arms. Oh, look at the torque. Look at the torque. Tessie reaching for the bottom rope with her leg, but just can't reach, just out of reach. But Tessie, fighting back, elbows to the face, breaking up the hold. Tessie now, look at Tessie. Oh, snap DDT into the pin, will that be enough? 2, 3, oh, whoa. I think that might have been a count of 3. But if it wasn't, that was the closest 2.99 I've ever seen. And now, look at Tessie now back in control. Pretty sure she thought she had the match won with that snap DDT. And now look at her, giving Heather a taste of her own medicine, using those ropes just as she did to her. And now, there's the split pin. 2, is that enough? Oh, but again, Heather kicking out. What an embarrassing way to be pinned. But Heather kicking out. But now Tessie surviving that offense of fury by Heather, regaining control of the match. But Heather, look at Heather. Huge knee to the face. Shucking Tessie over the top rope. And a huge right, sending the Southern Belle to the mat below. And Tessie struggling to her feet. Still unsure where to go, and a double axe handle by Heather. The referee restarting the count. And now just sending Heather crashing to the floor as they make their way around the ring. Heather still with those stiff forearm shots. The crowd really getting behind Heather here tonight and dropping the elbow. And now Heather, what's she thinking? Up to the top. What big move does she have in store? Going for the elbow, but Tessie moves out of the way. Tessie rolls out of the way. And now Tessie hooks the arms. Another DDT. Surely that's enough. Oh, but now Tessie going to the top. Dropping the elbow of her own. And it is over. One mistake cost Heather the match. Tessie capitalizing on the missed elbow. You can see here, look at the torque on Tessie, trying to make her submit, unable to reach the ropes. But Tessie showing off some of that power, some of that veteran experience, getting out. And here, after the missed elbow by Heather, hits her own beauty elbow and picks up the victory. But it looks like now she has something to say after a hard-fought victory. Oh, bold words from Tessie. Oh, and brave move calling out the FTW Women's Champion. And is it possible to just declare? I'm pretty sure we have a ranking system in place. I'm not entirely sure if that'll stick. But I think that she's making a big mistake at who she's calling out. Speaking of, and this is why, it's the FTW Women's Champion. Brooke is in the building. Brooke is here. She is in the building. Clearly having heard enough of what Tessie had to say. The FTW Women's title strapped firmly around her waist. And there you can see Tessie, unimpressed that the champ would interrupt her like this. Telling Tessie that she better watch her mouth. Not liking what she's hearing. And of course Tessie will think that. course she would think the title would look better around her waist. And she thinks she's doing Brooke a favor by taking that title. Bold words from Tessie. But Brooke has always fought the good fight, so to speak. Not afraid of who she is. Always looking for a fight. And it looks like we might get one right here, right now. Brooke oh no, wait a minute. She just faked out Tessie. Tessie, afraid of Brooke. What a fake out by the champion, and Tessie not impressed. But ladies and gentlemen, in a few weeks' time, we will have FTW Conquest Boston coming at you live from the Boston, Massachusetts area. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date on all things FTW. But now it looks like, it was what I was afraid of. It looks like we are being joined by the FTW champion, Jackson Hart, who said he would make his way to the ring to address his adoring fans. I know you can't see it, but I just air quoted that because I don't think one single person in New Haven thinks Jackson Hart is their champion. In fact, he won. Listen to the crowd telling him what they think, telling him he sucks. Jackson, of course, had won the briefcase that guaranteed him a title shot at any time, anywhere, any place, and used it to cash in on Angel Fire. But not after his bodyguard, Mr. Blackmore, did additional damage. And of course, we haven't seen Angel Fire since that match. And that was over 3 months ago. There you can see the FTW Championship around the waist of Jackson Hart with Mr. Blackmore circling around the outside of the ring. The crowd still letting Jackson have it. I think I'm just gonna run to the bathroom right quick while this man speaks. I have no desire to listen to what he has to say. The crowd still chanting, "You suck." Strong words from Jackson, but the crowd just letting him have it. And it looks like he's leaving. Yes, he's leaving. He is sick and tired of what this crowd has to say. Unbelievable. Well, Nathan and Ryvan rekindling their friendship from many, many years ago. Quite the history between those two, but ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our main event, and it is for the FTW Tag Team Championship. Last week, the Pitbulls, they attacked Reggie Bronx backstage. You can see he's bandaged up a little bit. Still not 100%. But it was greenlit that we have a title match here tonight. And the Bronx Bullies looking to become 5-time tag team champions. Of course, these guys no strangers to holding gold. They always seem to know what it takes. And it's not like they have short reigns either. They've been notorious for holding the belts for close to a year each time they've won them. But they have their hands full tonight because they are taking on the team that did defeat the longest reigning FTW Tag Team Champions in history, the Unbreakable Dragons of Will Rao and Shuhei Tezuka, who you saw last week in the main event. I'm talking, of course, of PJ Stevens and Mark Castle, the current FTW Tag Team Champions, the Pitbulls. And there's a dangerous tag team if I've ever seen one. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are not to be taken lightly. They are as dangerous and as tough as they come. And they've held these titles for a long time, just over 7 months in fact. But of course, they are going into the ring with some of the premier FTW tag team in history. The Bronx Bullies, Reggie and Lou. They are, of course, the brothers of the woman you seen not too long ago, Brooke. There's some family ties here in FTW. The Bronx family known for their championships. And look at the Bullies not even stepping out of the ring. They have no respect for the Pitbulls after their sneak attack last week. Look at them getting into the face of one another already with the trash talking. And that's what it's all about right there. You see the titles wrapped around their waist. Oh, and just look at that little shove on Lou. This is no doubt going to be a heated contest. And it is, of course, for the FTW Tag Team Championships. The crowd desperate to see the Bronx Bullies win these belts back once again. But the Pitbulls are not to be taken lightly. There's a reason why they call them the Pitbulls. They are ferocious. They are mean. They have no remorse for their opponents. They will do whatever it takes to win. And we are starting things off with Lou Bronx and Mark Castle in the ring. And look at the two men circling each other. Lou showing off the muscles. Castle unafraid. Some trash talking between the two men. But look at this. Now they're just exchanging blows. Big right hands from Castle. Quick left jabs from Lou. And now a headbutt. It shows the different styles that these two men have. Lou, a former trained boxer, just throwing him around. That's why his jabs hurt so much. And now look at this. Look at the power slamming him face first into the canvas. Lou weighs in over 300 pounds. No slouch in the ring either. But look at that shot. Oh, those shots of the ears would disorientate anybody. But look at the shots Lou is just absorbing. Castle with him against the ropes. Oh, huge knees to the stomach. And now following that up with a Russian leg sweep. And you can see Reggie desperately wanting into the fight. As Castle now trying to start to pick apart Lou Bronx. Now sending him head first into the turnbuckle, cutting off the ring. Here comes PJ Stevens. Oh, into the backbreaker, and Stevens dropping the knee across the chest of Lou Bronx into the pin. But quickly Reggie breaking up the pin and eating a back suplex for his troubles. But Reggie just back to his feet, but of course not wanting to get his team disqualified. No greater revenge than taking the titles away from the Pickles. As Stevens now wrenching on the neck of Lou Bronx. Stevens chucking him over the top rope. And look at the power of Stevens just to bring him back in with a vertical suplex. And he is celebrating already. There is only one premier tag team in FTW, and that is the Pickles. Irish whip, but the two just bump. Look at it, teasing Reggie gets a shot to the face. And now PJ Stevens, but look at Lou with the quick counter. Lou picks him up, drops him face first, snake eyes, and now Reggie dropping his neck. And Lou, look at Lou, huge power slam. What a combination by the Bronx Boys, and this is why they are one of the toughest teams in FTW. And what a shot. Now Reggie's in the match. Reggie with a huge scoop slam. And he is fired up here tonight. And you see Stevens trying to make the tag. To no avail. And now Reggie with the neck breaker, going right into the pin. But Stevens quickly kicking out at the count of one, but a snap neck breaker. This is all Reggie early on. The fire this man has after the sneak attack last week. Oh, but what a quick DDT that was by Stevens to turn the match back into his favor. And now Irish whip into the corner. What are we thinking here? Oh, uppercut neck breaker combination. Into the pin. Two, is that enough? Oh, but Reggie just kicking out at 2.5. And now you see Castle just wrenching on the neck of Reggie Bronx. Just slamming him back down to the mat. Oh, and the huge spinning heel kick. What a spin kick by Mark Castle. And now sending Reggie into the corner. Quick tags from the Pipples. And what do they got here? Oh, power slam suplex combination into the pin. Two. Is that enough? Oh, but again, Reggie just kicking out. And now Look at Stevens wrenching on the neck, just trying to wear down. Oh, the cheap shot. Just trying to wear down Reggie Bronx as the Pitbulls in firm control of this match. Look at him just wrenching on that neck again. Oh, but look at Reggie. Reggie back to his feet. Ducks underneath. Oh, what a clothesline. Stiff clothesline by Reggie. And what a right hand. Sends him off the ropes. Tries for the crossbody, but oh, there's the clothesline again. And now the Bullies are picking up some momentum. Here comes Lou back into the match. Off the ropes, double flapjack. Stevens crashing to the mat. Lou feeling rested. He watched his brother take quite the beating in there. He is a machine. Off the ropes. Oh, senton splash. Using his entire weight. Crashing down onto the ribs of PJ Stevens. Back to his feet. And now into an armbar. Very unexpected by Lou Bronx. Look at him wrenching on the arm of PJ Stevens, reaching for the ropes. Stevens, though, managing to roll through. Oh, it just throws himself at Lou Bronx. And again, punching the lights out of Reggie, sending him crashing to the mat. Below. Turning this more or less into a handicap match. And another quick tag from the Pitbulls. What have they got here? Suplex. No. Powerbomb neckbreaker combination. Is that it all? But Lou just kicks out as Reggie gets back into the ring. Scaring off PJ Stevens. But now Castle with the quick punches on Lou Bronx. Look at him. Telling him, go ahead. Try to make the tag. They'll never make it. And now look at him, targeting the legs. Oh, dropping his entire weight on the inside of his knee. Going for another, but Lou kicks out the leg. Lou now, clothesline over the top. Look at him, he's fired up. He's fired up. Some trash talk between TJ Stevens now. A little bit of payback. And now Lou going outside. Lou has had enough. Lou slamming him against the announce table. And now what is Lou thinking here? Oh, Uranagi slam. Uranagi slam. Lou taking out both Pitbulls on his own. And now what's Lou thinking here? He's stripping the table. He is tired of the Pitbulls. I don't even think he cares about the titles anymore. But look at that cheap jab by PJ Stevens. Up to a count of 7. Can't win the match outside the ring, but again, Lou takes out Stevens. Lou takes out Stevens. Oh, but a huge lariat by Mark Castle. And now Castle with the back elbow. What a distraction. And now Castle. What's Castle thinking here? Oh, again, the huge spinning heel kick. Is that all she wrote for the Bullies? The Pitbulls back in firm control. Again, cutting off the ring. And what do we see here? Off the ropes, the Pitbulls bite. What a tag maneuver that is. 2, and that's all she wrote. Take no! Now Lou kicks out as Reggie was dumped outside the ring. I thought that was it. That's how they won the tag titles to begin with. And now PJ Stevens chucking Lou over the top. Lou emptied that table earlier. That might be his own downfall. Yes, he's bringing him over to the table. And now, using that table as a weapon, slamming his head. Stevens now, just working on the outside, but Lou fighting back. Lou fighting back. What's Lou thinking here? Lou throwing him up on the table. Lou throwing him up on the table. What's going on here? Lou picks him up. Power bomb through the table. Power bomb through the table. He just power bombed Stevens through the table. Throws him back into the ring. Is that enough? Into the cover. 2, this has got to be it. Oh! Stevens just kicking out at 2.9. Castle was getting into the ring to break it up. And now, tilt-a-whirl powerbomb by Lou Bronx. But that clearly took a lot out of Bronx. And Castle now with the cheap shot. Castle saving the match with the cheap shot on Lou Bronx. Lou not sure where he's at, coming to. Talking some trash from Castle, but again Castle with the kick. And you can see Stevens getting to his feet. That might have been a big mistake by Lou Bronx. As Stevens now fights to his feet. Stevens driving Lou's face into his knees, telling him, you don't mess with the Mad Dog. You don't mess with the vicious pit bull. Stevens now, oh, look at the force. He dropped that elbow across the back of Lou's neck. But Lou fighting out of it. Reggie getting these crowd on the feet. Into the corner. Are they going for a one-way trip to the Bronx? Yes, one-way trip to the Bronx. But Castle immediately breaking it up. Oh, but what a shot by Reggie. Reggie knocking him to the ground outside. Reggie picks him, locks it in, and slams him down into the pin. 2, 3, we have new FTW Tag Team Champions. The Bullies have done it. They become 5-time FTW Tag Team Champions. It was hard fought. The Pitbulls gave them all they could handle. Move after move. The Pitbulls showing just how in sync they were. Busting out every move that they could produce. But it wasn't enough. To take down the Bullies, who have become 5-time champions in the crowd. The crowd's going wild. This is why they're one of the greatest tag teams in FTW. Reggie, Lou, the Bronx Bullies. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of FTW Adrenaline.